This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so we're talking about the Diddy trial, day 20. I started a little late today because I think they started late. So, yeah, they didn't start too long ago. We'll wrap this past 3 hours up in 20 minutes. Let's start with Inner City Press talking about a little bit. This is a quick case. I mean, it's going to be, 25 days, 30 days when it's done?
Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, June 10th, it's the 20th day of U.S. versus Sean Combs. We've been going at it hard for 19 days, and yesterday was no exception.
Now, this is like their second star witness, obviously, is Jane.
The witness known as Jane, and there are a lot of issues around this kind of growing credibility gap between... not credibility gap, just a gap between the reporting inside and the reporting outside.
Oh, okay, so...
In any event, Jane did finish past 5 p.m. her direct examination, culminating in a violent incident
Yeah, Diddy was like kicking the doors off the hinges. He was pummeling her. She had knots all over her head. She ran for help down the street, came back, didn't have to get help, and... still went back to him.
In their home, as it's described, in Los Angeles, with 4 doors kicked off, and they remain off, as well as activities. So today, there will be a press conference by Brad Lander. He's a candidate for mayor. Hit me up on Twitter, probably, as best as we can.
All right, so let's get right into this. They start talking about they're crossing. Okay, so let's get into this. All right, so the cross is going to happen today. This is with 50 Cent's baby mom, and it says Combs, Alexandra Shapiro, Bongolands. He said clearly a balcony incident took place on September 26. We believe she perjured herself. We just say that the government screwed up, giving Miss Westmoreland a rare Perry Mason moment in federal court that defense back in its war zone could say great job. She did do a great job, but hey, Cassie says she saw it. Okay, so then she didn't say she said. She says, I don't know. This is only our second motion for mistrial. I'm not sure why the government says it's the third. Then the government says perjury is only one prong of 4-part test. This happened years ago, the judge said. Miss Bongolan has taken a lot of drugs. God, she's sober. They're like, she was a drug binger. Anyways, they bring in Jane. They all reset. Now, judge says, Miss Grigos, you may proceed with a cross-examination. And then, Jane, we met before. Then you stopped meeting with the defense. That was your choice, right? She says, correct. So she was going to first be an asset of Diddy's. Jane, maybe 2 or 3 times. Did you bring the prosecutors to cross you? Yes. They granted you immunity at the grand jury, right? Yes. You said you were... she's granted immunity because the flying in of the prostitutes. That's illegal, right? She says, I didn't want to. You had sex with other men for years? I resent the emotional control. Just know that any questions asked is Diddy's lawyer, right? And I think it's a woman, Gergos. Anyways, you had sex with other men for years? Jane, I resent the emotional control. I was hooked from the start. There was pressure to perform these acts my lover desired. You used the word partner again and again, non-direct. Was he your partner? Yes. You said you've been having trouble answering yourself. Why you had sex with these other men? Yes. Are you in therapy now? Yes. You love Mr. Combs? I love to spend time with my partner. You wanted to cuddle with him? To give him foot rubs. You said, and they object. I love to bathe him. And we watch our favorite shows. Yeah, your favorite porn shows of you. Which show was that? Dateline. Did you believe he was not doing this with anyone else? During the period, yeah. You look at his messages? Yes. He was vulnerable in those hotel rooms. And I share that. Okay. He was vulnerable in these hotel rooms, and I share that with him. It was conflicting. I was breaking all my boundaries so that we would feel loved. This brought you two together. The lovemaking afterwards. That's why I enjoyed it. You tried to be very sexy to him in these rooms. I think I was sexy in those rooms because you were a beautiful woman. Did you choose to wardrobe? Initially, he did. He liked the baby oil. I turned him on. Yes. How old were you when you started this relationship with Mr. Combs? 35. What are examples of your fantasy talk in these rooms? He would have, the entertainer and me being role play, cheating role play, that Sean left town. How high were you? How high were you in those heels? 6 or 7 inches. I usually wear 3 or 4 inch heels. You wanted your child to be closer to your child's father. But did the father see the child? What does that have anything to do with this? Who you fly weekly to Miami to see Mr. Combs? Sometimes. We listened to 5 voice notes of which Mr. Combs sounded angry, but he'd sent thousands, correct? Yes. Why did you feel he was larger than life? Bright light. He introduced me to the gospel. He had a favorite pastor he'd watch on TV. Has that stayed with you? Yes. Do you watch that pastor today? Objection. How much did he invest in your dress line? $20,000. Why did you join OnlyFans? If I could get off it, I would. Financially needed it. Mr. Combs gave you money throughout the relationship in 3.5 years. Does $150,000 sound right? I would assume. You told the government you gravitate towards providers. Yes, as a woman, I like that. You called the house our house. Later, I just saw it as my house. You thought it was important that the staff not know about the entertainers, right? Objection. Overruled. Can you say let's see, hold on. It says, and that's a reason you go to the house and a yard for your son? Can you say my child? Why? Why is that a problem? Can you say my child? Oh, because she doesn't want it to be known that we already know who you are, okay? You're not hiding anything. Okay, then you thought it was important that the staff not know entertainers, right? Objection. And the reason you go to the house for the orders of your son? Can you say my child? Why did it stop right here? Oh, 1 sec. Then it just stops. Oh, they kicked Inner City Court out. ICP Inner City Press must be in the bathroom because CNN is still reporting. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to okay, here we go. When it goes, you thought it was important for staff to have an objection. Can you say my child? What? Wait a minute. Okay. All right, here we go. And the government screwed up. Okay, let's see if... Oh, his thread is messed up. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 sec. Combs, Alexandra. Let's see. Okay, day 20. Yep, right. Can you say child? Boom. 5 hours ago. This is weird. Hold on 1 sec. Bongline, that clearly said that. And 8 hours. Okay, so I think he got kicked out of I think he got kicked out. Because I'm not seeing anything as of recent. How did you get kicked out? He didn't even report he got kicked out. Okay, Combs trial. Let's see. Let's see what happened. These were victim 2. Sex trafficking trial is testifying on a 4th day. Pushing back, Combs' lawyer hammered on defense. She claimed a competent woman who stayed with Combs by choice. All right, let me see. Here we go. I gotcha. Let me go back to where we left off. Inner City Press is, he must have gotten kicked out. Greg goes, once you heard Mr. Combs' influence in your work changed. Yes, I couldn't focus anymore. It felt like I reached about 10% of my earning during our relationship. And so she's talking about that, you know, she focused so much on him that it was over, you know, like she couldn't even do her other modeling stuff. She says, when I moved into a new home, April 2023, I thought if we got a place, it means, like in Sean's taste, maybe we could like start doing the hotel nights here. With your son there? What are you talking about? So you and Mr. Combs wanted to keep these hotel nights. Yes, it was really important that nothing about the hotel nights got out. We wanted to, you know, the public. Why would you want sex performers coming to your house? Even employees knew about the entertainers. Had you done hotel nights at your previous apartment? Yes, we had. So one of the reasons you got the house was for that, so your son could have a yard. Could you please see my child again? And she says, I'm showing the jury the text messages and audio messages from the Turks trip. You testified earlier that during the trip, he surprised you with an entertainer on hotel nights, which caused an argument. Yes, it really upset me, and it affected us for a few days. But in the messages, you two exchanged words afterward. You both sounded affectionate. Mr. Combs told you he loved you. Yes, in a voice note. He says he loves everybody. He loves Stevie J. He also mentioned something about a contract. What was that? He was referring to our love contract after we agreed on it. He rented me a home for $10,000 a month. And you recorded message back to him was you would say you sounded happy. Yes, I told him how I had so much fun on that trip, and I loved him, and I felt closer to him. You said everything just feels good, and I'm so happy. Yes, that's right. I did have fun with him. I was expressing the love of the time together, except for the part of having the entertainers. When I moved into my rented home in 2023, Sean paid $40,000 up front to cover the security deposit and the rent for the first month and the last month. The landlord already possessed several months of rent payments in case Combs ever decided to stop paying rent, correct? Yes. Did Combs indicate that he was also open to paying 3 more months of your rent, even though you were about to break up? Yes. Did you ever believe Mr. Combs would stop paying your rent? There were sometimes, yeah, I definitely thought he would do that. And he used some kind of little tool. Rent was always like a reminder. Can you confirm the conversation you had with Mr. Combs regarding your financial situation? Yes, he asked me, you need 3 months rent? I told him I was struggling a bit. And what happened after that conversation? I confronted him later about these things, and then out of the blue, he sent me $20,000. Was this money solicited by you in any way? No, I just asked for it. Completely unsolicited. How did you use that $20,000? I used it to buy some nice furniture for my place. See, this girl just spends money. The court heard you sent Combs a text after receiving the money. Can you describe that message? I texted him to say thank you. Thank him, baby. I was just grateful. So to clarify, you expressed gratitude and used affection term, correct? Yes, that's right. The court heard a voicemail from Mr. Combs where he referred to you as a crack pipe. Can you explain? It was my playful little thing from our trip in Turks and Caicos. We had a lot of fun, and he gave me that nickname. Crack pipe? Well, he said crack pipe. He had an addiction to my texts. It was mutual, you know, fun and banter. And how did you respond to the voicemail from Mr. Combs? I texted him back something like, crack pipe is so real for the both of us. It's definitely mutual. I just like everything he said. I'm so thankful. I had so much fun. Turks was absolutely incredible. I'm so happy. So your response was positive, expressing gratitude and enthusiasm for the trip and the nickname. Yes, exactly. I was so happy and having fun with it. The trip was amazing, and I just wanted him to know I appreciated it. To confirm, this exchange was lighthearted and reflected a mutual enjoyment of the time you two spent together. Yeah, it was all good fun. We were joking around and enjoying the vibe from the trip. You mentioned things changed when Mr. Combs started spending time with young Miami. Yes, it became difficult for me about 6 months to a year after we started dating. What made it difficult? Their relationship was public and, they posted each other over social media. Meanwhile, mine with him was very private. How did this make you feel? Geez, young Miami, you were just one of the roster. See? It was what I signed up for. I didn't agree to date that man who was I didn't agree to date a man that was in a public relationship with someone else. Yeah, that was what you signed up for. He told you, said that wasn't what you signed up for. We were in Miami, and he brought me a pair of shoes, and a Ventega bag, and a bracelet. During this trip, Mr. Combs discussed a lifestyle with you. Yes, he explained that it led to a polyamorous dating lifestyle. And how did you react to this explanation at the time? At first, I didn't mind it. We were getting to know each other, so it wasn't a big deal then. But your feelings changed over time? Yes, I developed more deeper feelings for him. It became difficult. I was feeling my man, wanted to be him to be mine. You also mentioned there was an imbalance of how Mr. Combs treated you compared to other girlfriends. Can you elaborate? I just felt like the way he treated me wasn't the same. He treated others. I felt unequal. So to clarify, your concerns about the imbalance arose as your emotional attachment, Mr. Combs, grew. Let's talk about your first trip to Turks and Caicos. What did you observe about him? On the flight, I noticed his hands were shaky, his eyes and teeth looked off, and even his coloring seemed unhealthy. I couldn't tell if it was he was taking good care of himself. Did you suggest anything to him? Yes, that he considered rehab in Thailand. So you knew he was a drug addict. In the beginning, I didn't really know how to label it. I just saw someone that was overdoing the partying. But later on, as our relationship went on, I started noticing a very strong pattern. I still didn't call it an addiction at the time. Now I'd say he was a drug addict. But back then, I just thought he was a really big party guy. Did you know if he was on prescription medication? Toward the end of our relationship, I found out he was taking antidepressants. And you wanted him off the drugs? Yes, I wanted him to return to natural form. Even though he told me once he was interested in taking ketamine therapy. A judge calls for a break and jurors leave. Janice Combs, Diddy's sister, and 2 sons seated in the front row behind him. Attorney Mark Gregos is also in court, seated with the defense rows. He watched as his daughter, Tenny Gregos, his daughter, okay, questioned Jane. They're back. Okay, so, Miss Jane, you would agree that you're a willing participant in the so-called hotel nights? At the time, yes. I felt I had to keep the relationship going. But no one forced you to take part. Not physically, no. And you were aware that Mr. Combs practiced polyamorous lifestyle? Yes, he told me. Yet you chose to keep the relationship going for some time. I did. My feelings grew deeper. And during this time, he supported you and paid your rent and gave you gifts, covered expenses. Yes, he did all that. Would you say this was kind of generous at times? Yes, he could be generous. So your relationship, though complicated, had moments of affection and mutual agreement. I did. But that doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It felt controlling. During the hotel nights, did you and Mr. Combs spend time alone together? Yes, we'd usually have about 30 minutes to an hour alone. The entertainer came, and some time afterward. How did you feel about this alone time? I actually enjoyed it, especially when we made love. That part felt intimate. So he gave you the attention you were seeking. Yes, he gave me the affection I wanted during those nights. Was that typical of him? No, he wasn't generally affectionate, but on those nights, he was most affectionate. Were red lights and baby oil used during the hotel nights? No, they weren't exclusive to those nights. What else was used? He used them during other sexual encounters, even in a private residence. Were you aware of these hotel nights were being filmed? Yes, I was okay with it. And Mr. Combs told you the videos were just both the two of you? Yes, that's what he said. You put on a good show for him in the videos because you knew he would watch them again. Yes. Isn't it true that you enjoyed rewatching Hotel Nights with Mr. Combs? No, I did not like that part. But you still did it. Yes, it was just part of the relationship, something I tolerated, even if it made me feel uncomfortable. Then Tenny Gurgos tells the judge she may pause cross at 3 p.m. today to give the jurors a break. She'll pick it up again Wednesday and through Thursday. The main goal here is to complete Jane's Cross by Thursday. Let's talk about them hotel nights. What was your understanding of what Mr. Combs wanted them? They were driven by his desires. It's labeled cuckold, a man being turned on by watching his woman have sex with another woman. That term was spot on. And why did you participate? Out of love, I wanted to please him. Did Mr. Combs ever explain his motivations? He liked to call it voyeurism. I used the word cuck myself. I used to think it may have been some bi-curiosity involved. Cucks can be curious and too afraid to act on it. Did he ever stop a hotel night because you wanted to? Yes, there were a few times. Ended early when I spoke up and said I wanted to stop. And if you weren't comfortable with the other men, he dismissed them, correct? Rarely. Only after I tried to interact with them sexually for some time. But he responsive when you were uncomfortable? No, not readily. I had to go through the motions first before he considered letting him go. Let's talk about the 2 times you said you cried after a hotel night. Do you remember the first? Yes, it was our first early relationship. I cried because Sean was about to leave right after the hotel night. And when did you ask him to stay? Did you ask him to stay with you? He changed his plans and he stayed to comfort me. The second time, you were in the shower together? Yes, somewhere in the middle of our relationship, I started crying in the shower after another hotel night. And was Mr. Combs high on ecstasy at the time? He said he was. He told me, "You're going to ruin my high," and said he was too high to see me cry. Let's get back to the early testimony. The hotel nights, or as you call them, freak-offs. Yes, you described them as being driven by Mr. Combs, correct? That's right. But were the moments weren't there when you had some say in how things played out? There were a few times I voiced how I wanted how them to play out. Was it entirely without your input? No, not always. Sometimes I was able to speak up, though it wasn't always to change the outcome. Guragos. Let's go over the messages between you and Christina Coram. These were sent around the times he allegedly asked you to bring drugs to Miami, correct? Yes. You testified earlier that you had a phone conversation with Miss Coram, during of which she told you it was fine to bring the drugs even though you're instructed to put them in checked luggage. Yes. But the messages read here today didn't mention her saying anything like that, do they? No, they don't. But we spoke on the phone, verbally. Oh, please. When Miss Coram traveled with Mr. Combs, did you know if she flew on a private jet? I assume she did, but I can't say for sure. Would you describe the relationship with her close? Not at all. We weren't close. She didn't like me. How about the affecting your relationship with Mr. Combs? It made things hard. She was always with him. I believe she had strong opinions about me, and those opinions influenced how Sean treated me. And then they go for lunch. And we'll come back and finish the day after this. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Diddy's a menace. And we'll check you on the next one. Smash that like button. Peace.